Okay, this will be an interesting one. If we can make it look any good. Let's see how we go. Okay, let's see what we have. We have here, live at lunch, the concourse Chatswood. So yeah, this is a flautist. I think that's what a flute player is called. This is just some of the shit we've got. We're interested in this picture of her playing the flute, nicely costumed against a nice green backdrop. So yeah, this will be an interesting one if we can make it look any good. So we're just going to put the flautist. I think that's what a flute player is called, a flautist. Sounds like it's like the word flouted in flouting the law or something similar. So she's a flautist. I think that's the right term for a flute player. I think I learned that at school somewhere in music class. Of course, I never did well in music. Like all my subjects, I fucked up. I have very much hatred towards school. I learned more doing this shit than I did at school. So, you know, more practical, hands-on approach to learning is what I like. Anyway, I like it and I don't like it. But I think we can use it. She looks interesting. So I'm thinking that's going to be the centre of the job. But basically, yeah, I just didn't like school and I couldn't fit into the school way of living, both socially and educationally. So school just has a lot of bad taste in my mouth, so to speak. It wasn't a welcoming, inclusive sort of a place. I felt very, very much alienated by it, so yeah, I'm just doing my own shit now. I don't have to worry about people telling me what to do and what not to do and shit like that. I don't have to worry about being teased and bullied mercilessly like I was at school and at most of my work life as well. So I can just tell them to fuck off. I'm just safe here doing my videos. Yeah, school was shit. Music was boring. I used to call it Muzak, M-U-Z-A-K, the trademark for things like elevator music and all that sort of shit. I called the subject Muzak, M-U-Z-A-K. I figured it was a funny thing to do. Mrs. Fisher, the teacher, wasn't impressed. But, you know, I had no reason to want to treat it with respect. It was just rubbish. It was boring. But I couldn't play music anyway. I can't read music. I couldn't learn how to read. And I wouldn't have had the physical coordination to play an instrument. I wanted to play the synthesizer, my favourite instrument. So I wasn't impressed with playing, say, the triangle, which is really supposed to be an easy instrument, and it wasn't my interest. But, you know, I never really... School was just a fuck up. It wasn't a place to feel welcome or loved. Teachers were generally kind to me, most of them. Most of them tolerated my lack of desire to learn, but it wasn't just the lack of desire to learn, it was the fact that I have disabilities, like I had a cord around my neck and I came out feet first and I lost oxygen when I was being delivered, and who knows, I could have died. So basically I haven't got the ability to learn. Like, my hippocampus and my short-term memory, I suspect, have been damaged. And this is why I couldn't learn. And because learning was so difficult, I therefore acted up and didn't want to learn, didn't want to try, because I just felt it was too fucking hard, too much stress. And as a kid, I used to explode into tantrums saying, it's too hard, I can't do it. Usually I could learn something eventually, but it took time, and it was really painful trying to learn when your brain isn't functioning properly and no one knows there's something wrong, and they think it's your fucking attitude altogether. The attitude came because I just had trouble learning and felt really took the life out of me trying to learn something new. And no one knew there was something wrong, and they just blamed it on my fucking attitude. What a load of shit. It was this pressure, all this pressure to perform. Fuck, I hated that fucking school. Fucking shit. If they had, I wish they had the technology then to fix the brain damage so I could be able to learn and have a future. But I'm not going to base my future on school, folks. I'm going to fucking make my own way. Stuff the fucking education. Fuck education. Stupid. Anyway, that looks better than I thought it would. I think now we can call this Flouter's demo quits.